It's finally over, and at least one side is pretty happy, as you can see. We have a series of reports tonight on election night outcomes.
And learning the language, how immigrants struggle with it, and what's being done.
There's a reason this guy's feet are dirty, and it's gotten him into hot water with dining services. You're not going to believe this one.
Carolina Week is next. Could buying alcohol underage really be this easy? Looks like it's just a few clicks away.
And the new way college students are getting down and dirty. We'll tell you about sexting.
Plus, look at this. The world's best freestyle soccer player is a student right here at UNC.
Carolina Week starts now.
Meanwhile, a trial has been delayed for the father of one of the missing girls in Iowa. A judge has postponed Daniel Morrissey's trial on drug and domestic abuse charges until August 28th. The judge says the recent events made it difficult for Morrissey to prepare his defense. Morrissey's 10-year-old daughter, Lyric, and her 8-year-old cousin, Elizabeth Collins, vanished back on July 13th. They left their grandmother's house for a bike ride and never came back. Well, today marks 1 year in another missing persons case in Iowa with a Kansas City connection. Investigators say they're still checking leads, but have not been able to figure out what happened to Kay Wood. The body of her husband, Bill, was found in the remains of their burnt-out home last year. He had been shot several times. Their truck was then found in Kansas City the next day, but no arrests were ever made. More and more shoppers are saying no to paper and plastic and using their own reusable bags, but experts say that while the bags are good for the environment, they may be bad for your health. A new study found that 97% of people that use the bags admit they never wash them, and that means the inside of the bag and even the handles can turn into a breeding ground for harmful bacteria. In fact, one test, a microbiology professor found staph bacteria that causes MRSA inside the bag.
If it goes widespread in your body, it's resistant to methicillin, which is a play off of penicillin, and it gets to be kind of scary because what you would ordinarily do to treat it and cure yourself pretty quickly from a doctor's perspective, you have to do a whole lot more aggressive measures and more combative measures, and that's a big health scare.
In most cases, the bacteria isn't enough to make people really sick, but experts recommend you wash the bags on a regular basis.
Well, I've told the University Council to her face that they have elevated foot dragging and stonewalling to the level of high art.
And that art has people in newsrooms like this one going to court. We have the story.
Students finally get their way when it comes to gender-neutral housing. We have the latest.
Football season's over, so how would you rate the season? Sports reporter Will Reimer makes the grade.
Carolina Week starts right now.
It seems to happen all the time. The university in court fighting demands for what the news media call public records. There have been all kinds of cases. I'm Alex Giles.
And I'm Landon Dowdy. Remember the one where the university claimed it could withhold records of parking tickets? Critics are calling that case and others part of a culture of stonewalling. Avery Harper reports.
Editor-in-chief of the Daily Tar Heel, Andy Thomason.
An educated workforce is good for the economy. The low unemployment rate for the college-educated may be evidence. And the UNC system wants more college grads in our state. A lot more. Crystal Key is a UNC senior from Wilmington. She's majoring in environment. Kevin Kimball says the UNC system will improve those numbers by focusing on specific degrees. He says the system also needs to do a better job with targeted populations that could perform better in the classroom and later in the workforce.
After a year of lobbying the UNC Board of Trustees, starting next fall, students will have the option to choose gender-neutral housing. Reporter Johnny Gill followed the campaign as it unfolded.
For thousands of UNC students, a dorm like this one is
Officials say specific dorms and on-campus apartments will offer this option. Right now, all of the rules and regulations have yet to be worked out, but we will keep you posted.
UNC has another administrative position to fill. Assistant Dean of Students Melinda Manning announcing she will step down at the end of this semester. She's worked at the university for 11 years, but says it's time for her to move on to her next adventure. No word on what that new adventure might be.
The search for the new chancellor here at the university continues, but we're not alone. North Carolina Central University in Durham is looking for a new leader too. Reporter Angelica Mohabir has the latest.
NCCU senior and student government president Reggie McCrimmon is one semester away from graduating.
Work could cost you more.
Big changes in the park and ride program. That's coming up. paying for on-campus parking is expensive, so much that some of you drivers opt for the free park and ride program. But next year, that option will cost. Sefe Makpai has the story.
When Laura Marshall moved here from San Francisco, she knew she'd have to commute to campus to pursue.
The new fee is part of the 5-year transit plan. Although the minimum is $227, riders may have to pay more depending on their income.
Turning lemons into lemonade may be a good philosophical outlook, but it's an even better business strategy. Only this business isn't a lemonade stand, it's a bar. Chapel Hill bar The Thrill is expected to reopen Thursday after being closed for violating building codes. Owner Scott Campbell says he used the 2 weeks to make renovations to the late night hangout, including new marble floors, additional restrooms, and even an additional handicap accessible bar. Still, Campbell was surprised he was forced to close.
It was never in any way unsafe to patrons. And that kind of hurt, seeing that in the paper and seeing the words, condemned. It sounds like an awful term for something that was so minor.
The owner says he plans to add a restaurant in January. Food trucks. Some think they're a unique dining experience, but Chapel Hill laws don't make it easy for the vendors. Brianna Harper joins us with more.
Thanks, Alex. In February, the Chapel Hill Town Council enacted the current food truck regulations. Since then, one permit has been issued. Now, council members are considering a change to the rules to encourage more food trucks. Food trucks like American Meltdown can be spotted throughout Raleigh and Durham, but costly startup fees and permits have discouraged vendors from operating in Chapel Hill. For example, the fee is $25 in Durham, but in Chapel Hill is $750, plus a property fee of more than $100. All this could change.
Residents are looking for unique ways to interact in the community, and I can't think of a better way than helping local small business owners who are trying to start up a business and bringing life and excitement to empty parking lots.
In the spring, the Town Council will hear recommendations from staff on all this. Back to you.
Rachel Myrick is a Moorhead Kane Scholar. She's a member of the Phi Beta Kappa Honor Society, and she's the UNC Student Body Vice President. Impressive, right? Well, it gets even better. Now the Charlotte native can add Rhodes Scholar to her resume. Hi, Rachel. Thanks for joining us. Congratulations. Are you excited?
I'm very excited.
Well, we are too, and we're proud to have you as a Tar Heel. You're a Moorhead Scholar as well. How did being a Moorhead help you in applying for the Rhodes?
I think in general it helped me kind of take advantage of all the different opportunities that Carolina has to offer, and help provide me some awesome summer experiences, and help me immerse myself fully in some of the academics and extracurricular opportunities on campus.
And as a Rhodes, you get $50,000 a year. What do you plan to do with it?
Well, it'll go towards paying for my tuition for Oxford and living in Oxford. I'm planning on pursuing a master's in international relations, hopefully leading into a doctorate.
Wow, what an amazing experience. Well, we are proud to have you, and thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Good for her. It's been 25 years since the World AIDS Day began. Jim Bunn is the person behind the idea. He's on campus tonight to talk about it and his hopes for the future of the day.
I hope that we get to a point that December 1st is just a date on the calendar and it's not World AIDS Day. I hope we've gotten to the point there are actually scientists now who are talking about eradicating the disease. So my hope would be that at some point, maybe in our lifetime, that December 1st will not be known as World AIDS Day. It'll just be a date on the calendar, and how nice would that be?
Bunn is currently speaking at Howell Hall. Remember these?
They're back. More after this.
If you are looking forward to grabbing a slice of pizza at Franklin Street's newest eatery, the wait for your table just got longer. The opening of Mellow Mushroom in the Old Hams location on West Franklin Street has been delayed again. Owners had hoped to have the restaurant up and running back in August, but complications associated with the discovery of a sewer line beneath a patio pushed construction back by at least 4 months. Now, owners say they hope to open the restaurant in February. Well, Landon, that does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Thanks for watching. Good night.